What's up guys, in today's video we're going to be eating some delicious Wagyu beef at a Yakiniku class and learning why the meat tastes so delicious. We're in Nishikujo in Osaka today. It's home to several izakayas or Japanese style bars and the transfer point to get to Universal Studios Japan. The restaurant we're going to is a popular yakiniku or grilled meat restaurant called Yasubei. Yakiniku is an institution in Japan. Modern yakiniku draws influence from Korean barbecue and became popular post-World War II. Yasubei is only about a minute's walk from Nishikujo Station. Next year, it's turning 50, and they're in the process of deciding how to celebrate. The owner, Katakura-san, has been with the restaurant for 17 years. Today, he'll be walking us through the different cuts of Wagyu beef and what goes into creating its exquisite flavor. They started these classes last November for Japanese customers, focusing on just offal or organ meat. Starting in September, monthly classes will take place in English for 6,500 yen per person. I'll leave further information below. Oh, by the way, Jeremy and Kina from the Kaiseki vlog are back. To kick things off, Katakura-san explained the 4 types of beef used in Japan.
1つが黒毛和牛、2つ目が短角牛、3つ目が無短角牛、4つ目が赤牛です。
Name translates as red cattle, but it's actually brown.
He sources his meat from Miyazaki, Yamagata, and Okinawa prefectures.
He said that the most popular organ meat in this restaurant and in general is the Jomino, and Jomino is the prime part of the cow's first stomach.
The characteristics that make Wagyu beef so prized are the beautiful marbling of fat, lower melting point of that fat, the higher quality meat, and finally its pleasant smoky smell. The first cut of meat I'm trying is beef tongue.
One point about tongue, often if you go to another, like a lot of the cheaper yakiniku restaurants, you'll get tongue that is what shape?
Round.
Round, right? And why is it round? How does it come out perfectly round?
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine? It is good, nice. It is frozen. It is vacuum sealed, it's frozen, and vacuum sealing it creates that round shape. But also, because it's frozen, any meat that's been frozen will lose moisture. So you're gonna lose flavor anytime that you freeze the meat. The meat here has never been frozen, of course.
At this point, I want to warn you that we're about to see a full beef tongue. So be prepared if you're at all squeamish.
柔らかいです。きめが細かい。
So I'm just going to try a couple of the beef tongues. There's 2 styles here. We've got a thicker style, which is quite unique to this restaurant here, and then we've got a thinner style, which is more the traditional, what you would get at any yakiniku place. Let's go. So with other cuts of meat with yakiniku, you will have that with sauce, but with the tongue, you just have it with salt and lemon. It cooks really fast on the grill, only takes maybe 20-30 seconds on each side, and then it's done. That is quite hard, actually. There's a lot more bite to it than I thought. Now I'm going to try the thinner slice and see if there's a difference between them. I gotta say that I prefer the thinner slice. There's still quite a bit of bite and toughness, almost, to it. The thinner slice, to me anyway, is more palatable. So the lemon works really nicely. That little bit of tang from it just marries so well with the salt and the pepper, the seasoning in that tongue. It is really, really good. Next, I tried the beef cheeks. I've never tried beef cheeks as a grilled style like this before. Usually it's just like in a slow cooked sort of style, but these are really good. I like them more than the beef tongue. They're definitely easier to chew and to eat. Let's take a little break from eating. Katakura-san explained the 5 factors that make Wagyu beef the best in the world. They are the environment that they live in, the people who care for them, the food, which is rice hay, the water, and the breeding.
So the main points are the environmental and the people who raise it, of course, and how much love and energy they put into maintaining the living space, and the happiness of the cattle is, of course, the most important. One of the main things that they eat, though, is hay that comes from Japanese rice fields. The Japanese rice is harvested. After it's harvested, they cut the hay, and there's actually a nice cycle here. The cows eat the hay, and then they digest the hay, and then that is then returned back to the rice fields to fertilize the rice one more time. So it's a nice little circle of life. Lion King, Hatsubenya, Babichi Baba. Ideally, to get the most tender meat, you want to make sure that the cows get less exercise. They take great care of them, and one of the things that he was actually surprised about when he visited the farms where he was sourcing his meat from is how immaculately clean a cattle farm could be. Also just how much care is taken into the happiness of the animals, making sure they have the right amount of light, the right amount of fresh air, the food is right, and just general happiness.
Next up, sirloin. Katakura-san showed us that the sirloin fat is so delicate it melts when in contact with body heat. That just melts in your mouth. It is amazing. Like, there's a lot of marbling, there's a lot of fat through that meat, and it just makes it so juicy, so tender. It's absolutely incredible. Next up is the rump. It's up to you on how long you want to cook it on the grill, but as a guide, when you see the sides of the meat start to change color, you can turn it over. So if you want to cook it a little bit longer, but you want it a more gentle heat, just put it on the side where it's going to be more of an indirect heat. This one comes with a bit of a yakiniku sauce. Wow. So that's the rump, and it's super tender, and it's not as melt in your mouth as the sirloin was. It's not like marbled like the sirloin was, but it's just really nice and juicy. It's really delicious. And the added dimension of the yakiniku sauce worked really well with it. Like a little bit of that sort of garlic onion flavor in the sauce, and a little bit of sweetness. Very good. Let's give this skirt steak a try. Oh wow. That is super tender. Really juicy, really tender. There's a lot of marbling in there, and it just makes it so soft. It's so nicely seasoned, and that little marinade from the sauce just beforehand works really well. And the extra dip in there just adds to the flavor. It's just so good. Yasubei was an amazing food experience. The Wagyu beef was so fresh and flavorsome. In the end, I found the skirt steak to be my favorite. It may not have been as richly marbled as the sirloin, but I actually preferred it. Let me know in the comments which cut of beef looked the best to you. As I mentioned before, these classes with explanations of the meat will start from September and cost 6,500 yen per person. You can make a reservation using the details in the description below. I'd like to thank Katakura-san for allowing me to film in his venue and for providing us with such delicious meat. That's all for today. My name is Lin Nyunt. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Yakiniku class at Yasubei in Nishikujo, Osaka. Every single week I make a video, so please be sure to like, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell to join the notification squad, and I'll see you next time.